Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. In this episode, we'll explore the top 10 ways to tidy up and organize your garden so that it becomes more than just a patch of grass and plants. It becomes your very own outdoor haven. Whether you have a small urban courtyard, a medium-sized backyard with a lawn and flower beds, or a sprawling property with multiple zones, these methods will help you keep everything under control and make it look amazing. Ready to roll up your sleeves and get started? Let's dive right in. Start with a clear plan and assessment. Before grabbing tools and heading into the garden, the first step to tidying up is to assess the current state of your outdoor space. Ask yourself, which areas are most cluttered or overgrown? Where does unwanted debris accumulate, such as fallen branches, leaves, or discarded pots? Which plants need pruning or perhaps complete removal? Take a notebook or use your phone to document these problem spots. By doing a short walkthrough, you'll have a clearer perspective of what to tackle first and how much effort it might require. Creating a rough layout plan helps you visualize the garden you want. From manicured flower beds to neat vegetable patches to lounge areas or play zones. Identifying these priorities early on is key, as it prevents jumping haphazardly from one task to another. Tip: sketch a quick map of your garden. Mark high priority zones, essential footpaths, seating areas, and potential spots for future projects. This map will serve as a reference when deciding where to place your compost bin, storage solutions, or additional plants. Declutter all the surfaces and corners. Clutter is often the biggest obstacle to a tidy garden. We might talk about rummaging piles behind the shed, random pots stacked next to the greenhouse, or old tools lying around. Start by gathering everything that doesn't belong in the garden, like toys, leftover building materials, or random junk, and decide whether these items are to be thrown away, donated, or placed in proper storage. Gather tools. If you have small hand tools scattered about, bring them together in one place. Separate usable versus non-usable. Sort out equipment that still works from those that are broken beyond repair. Recycle or upcycle. Sometimes old items can be upcycled into planters or decorative pieces, so think creatively before discarding them. Once you've removed or reorganized these stray objects, you'll notice an immediate difference in how open your garden feels. Decluttering is one of the fastest ways to transform a space from neglected to promising. Weed out the unwanted plants thoroughly. Unwanted weeds can quickly overrun garden beds, paths, and gravel areas. One of the best ways to maintain a neat and organized look is to control weed growth regularly. Spending 10-15 minutes each week pulling out new sprouts will save you from a massive weekend weeding session down the line. Here's a reliable strategy. Work soon after rain. When the soil is slightly damp, it's easier to pull weeds out by the roots without leaving behind fragments that can regrow. Use proper tools. A hand fork, a garden hoe, or specialized weed extractor helps you remove the entire root system. Dispose correctly. If the weeds have not yet seeded, you can add them to your compost. Otherwise, it's best to dispose of them in a green waste bin to prevent reseeding. Weeding is not a glamorous job, but it's essential. Maintaining a routine will keep these intruders in check and preserve a healthier environment for your flowers or veggies. Establish defined edges and borders. A well-organized garden often features clear boundaries between different zones. For example, between the lawn and the flower beds, or between the vegetable patch and the pathways. Creating tidy edges can instantly enhance the structure of your garden and make it appear more polished. Trimming lawn edges. Use an edging spade or a half-moon edger to create a crisp line between the grass and adjacent beds. Border materials. Consider installing edging materials like bricks, wood planks, metal strips, or even stones to outline each section of your garden. This prevents grass from encroaching into your beds and reduces weed spread. Mulch. Spread mulch, wood chips, bark, straw, or even decorative gravel along these borders. Mulch reduces weed growth, retains moisture in the soil, and adds a refined look. Clear edges help guide the eye through your garden and convey that every area has a specific purpose. Prune, trim, and shape your plants. Many gardens appear disorganized because shrubs, trees, and perennials are allowed to grow unchecked. Although wild can be beautiful, overgrowth often means plants compete for nutrients, overshadow each other, or become prone to disease. Regular pruning and trimming stimulate healthy growth. By removing dead, diseased, or spindly branches, you encourage the plant to put energy into strong new shoots. Maintain shape. Well-shaped shrubs and trees contribute to the overall design aesthetic. For example, a neat hedge can act as a living wall that organizes and frames your garden zones. Prevent overcrowding. If certain plants outgrow their space, consider transplanting them to an area where they have more room or dividing perennials to maintain a balanced distribution. Seasonal note: make sure to learn about the optimal pruning times for each species. Some plants want trimming in early spring, others right after they bloom. Doing this at the wrong time of year can reduce flowering or overall health. Optimize storage for tools and supplies. A carefully curated collection of garden tools is vital, but it can create chaos if stored haphazardly. Rather than tossing them into a corner, invest in some storage solutions. Garden shed. A small or medium-sized shed can accommodate rakes, hoes, a lawnmower, potting soil, fertilizers, and more. Add a few labeled shelves or wall hooks to keep everything upright and organized. Outdoor cabinet or storage box. For smaller gardens with limited space, a weatherproof storage box or tall cabinet can stand against a wall or fence. This keeps watering cans, hoses, and smaller hand tools out of sight. Pegboards or hook systems. Mount a pegboard or hooks on the interior walls of the shed or garage to store hand tools, gloves, and extension cords. A well-arranged pegboard makes it easy to see exactly which tools you have available. When your tools have a designated spot, you'll find tasks go faster and tidying up becomes second nature. Use compost and recycling stations. A robust composting system is the heart of a sustainable garden. Composting not only helps you get rid of garden waste, like grass clippings, fallen leaves, and weeds without seeds, but it also produces nutrient-rich organic material to feed your plants. Location. Choose a corner with partial shade, so your compost pile won't dry out too quickly in the summer or become completely waterlogged in rainy seasons. Layers. Alternate layers of green waste, fresh grass clippings, kitchen scraps, etc., with brown waste, dried leaves, small twigs, or shredded newspaper. Aeration. Turn your compost pile every few weeks or use a compost tumbler to speed decomposition and prevent unpleasant odors. If you also add separate bins or spaces for recyclables like plastic pots, broken containers, or old garden labels, you'll keep your yard tidier and be more environmentally friendly. Create dedicated zones for different activities. When we talk about organizing a garden, it's not just about tidying up existing plants. Sometimes it's about structuring the space to make it more functional. Think of your garden as an outdoor extension of your home, where each area can serve a particular purpose. Relaxation and seating area. A small patio or deck with cozy furniture invites you to unwind and admire your hard work. Vegetable or herb patch. If you love fresh produce, designate a raised bed or a corner for herbs, veggies, or fruit bushes. Keep it well-defined with pathways around for easy maintenance. Children's play zone. Parents may want a dedicated zone with a sandbox or small playhouse. Having it clearly separated from the rest helps contain toys and kid-related clutter. Wildlife haven. If you're passionate about nature, incorporate a small wildflower bed, a shallow pond, or a few bird feeders. This encourages beneficial insects and birds, which help maintain a healthier garden ecosystem. These zones allow you to manage your garden more intuitively. You'll know exactly where each activity should happen, and you can plan your storage, pathways, and decor accordingly. Add eye-catching decor and lighting. Organization doesn't imply a sterile or boring look. You can enhance your garden's character by adding simple yet striking decorative elements. Strategically placed ornaments, decorative pots, or wind chimes bring uniqueness and charm. Here are a few ideas. Solar lights. Low-cost, energy-efficient solar lamps along pathways create a welcoming ambiance. String lights on fences or under pergolas make evenings magical. Upcycled creations. Old ladders can become plant stands, wooden pallets can become vertical gardens, and vintage containers can turn into one-of-a-kind planters. Garden art. Sculptures, mosaics, or stepping stones can be focal points that tie the space together. Just make sure not to go overboard. You want your garden to look cohesive, not cluttered. The key is finding a balance. Decor items should highlight your plants rather than overshadow them. A few personal touches go a long way in making the garden feel inviting and well thought out. Maintain regularly. The golden rule. All the above steps, pruning, weeding, defining edges, placing decor, work wonders, but they need consistent upkeep. Routine maintenance is the golden rule to ensure your garden remains organized, healthy, and visually appealing. Weekly check-ins. Spend at least 15 minutes walking around with a bucket and a pair of pruners. Pick up fallen branches or litter, deadhead spent flowers. Pull any emerging weeds and check for pests or signs of disease. Seasonal deep cleans. At the beginning of each season, devote a half day or full day to do more intensive tasks like mulching, re-edging beds, fertilizing, or cleaning the greenhouse. Tool care. Once you finish gardening, return tools to their proper place and do a quick wipe down to remove dirt. Keeping them in good condition extends their lifespan and keeps you organized. Remember, a garden is a living space that changes with the seasons. Adapt your tasks to the current climate and your garden's evolving needs. Regular short bursts of effort prevent overwhelming accumulations of chores. Extended tips for an even more organized garden. If you still have some extra bandwidth to refine and optimize, consider these advanced tips. Vertical gardening. Install trellises or use fences for climbing plants. Not only does this save ground space, but it can also create green walls that look stunning. Raised beds. Besides controlling soil quality and drainage, raised beds help keep pathways clear and reduce bending or kneeling, which is especially beneficial for individuals with back or joint issues. Smart irrigation. Drip irrigation systems or timed sprinklers let you water efficiently without lugging hoses around. Less clutter with hoses and less time spent on manual watering. Plant grouping. Place plants with similar water and sunlight needs together. This approach makes care more straightforward and prevents over or under watering. Labeling. If you're prone to forgetting where you planted certain bulbs or seeds, use labels or markers. It simplifies your tasks later in the season and helps keep track of your plant inventory. Every detail you add or refine is another step toward a truly organized, purposeful, and aesthetically pleasing garden. Your outdoor sanctuary awaits. A tidy, well-organized garden doesn't have to be an impossible dream. By starting with a clear plan, systematically removing clutter, and routinely maintaining each area, you'll see a dramatic transformation. Define your spaces with visible edges, shape your plants responsibly, incorporate clever storage solutions, and add personal decorative touches for style. Even a small yard can become a lush, functional retreat if managed well. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these tips, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gardening and home improvement content. Feel free to leave a comment below sharing your own organizational hacks, or let us know which of these 10 methods you're excited to try. Happy gardening! We'll see you in the next video.